So in this video, we're going to hone in on the pass variation of becoming an effective midfield player. Now, if we start with some statistics, the best midfield players in the world tend to have a high percentage of pass success rate. Now, in general, this isn't for every individual, but collectively, the best midfield players in the world have about an 87% pass success rate in a game, which is very, very high. If we break it down into distances, between 0 and 15, it's around about 92%. And then we go from 15 to 30 is about 91%. So very similar between that 0 to 30 yard pass range. Anything above 30 yards tends to be about 75%. So albeit quite high, not as accurate as the kind of shorter range stuff. We're going to look at some pass variation today that is around about 35 to 40 yards at its entirety. I'm going to give you some variations to hopefully allow you to practice with some purpose so that you can become more reliable when it comes to game day. Now, it's important to remember that practice shouldn't be flawless. It's a challenge, and the challenge allows me to get feedback from the knowledge of my result of my actions. So I'm going to focus on trying to put a little bit of swerve on the first couple of passes so that it goes between the gate over by the far touchline. So I'm going to go in mid to late touch on the rebounder, so mid to late, and then I'm going to think about putting some swerve around into that area now there. So mid to late, whipping the ball around into the area that I want to go to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work on the same target, but I'm going to try and go over the mannequin. So this requires me to think about just dropping it over that area in the hope that my teammate can receive it. So same principles, mid to late touch. So mid to late, shaping up. I'm just trying to drop the ball over the mannequin to the area that I'm trying to get it to. So I'm happy with that strike. I'm happy with my practice so far. It has purpose, it has method, and it's going to allow me to identify situations that I can expect to receive in a game so that we can get that transfer. So mid to late touch off the rebounder. So mid to late, just trying to drop it over the mannequin and into the target area. Okay, so I'm continuing with my practice. I'm going to just speed things up a little bit now just to accelerate it to show you for the purpose of the video. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to still take it with a mid to late receiving technique, and I'm just going to vary my pass range. So I'm going to look at trying to do ground passes, what we call low passes, which tends to be about kind of knee and below, or definitely below shoulder height, and then aerial ones which are obviously above the head or the shoulder line. So I'm going to take that same principle and I'm going to use the 3 gates. So I've got a yellow out towards fullback, maybe an orange out towards a wide player, and maybe an inner forward on this one here. I'm going to try and avoid the mannequins as best I can to try and execute those pass types. So mid to late take, over my target area out towards my switch play. So that's an aerial ball, which I'm happy with. I think now I'm going to try and go around the same area but on the floor. So working on that swerve. I might actually run with the ball a bit as well now. So mid to late take, running with the ball and trying to get it to my destination. So I'm varying up my own practice on my own, and I'm trying to recreate things that I would do in a game, even the movements and getting the load through my legs as well. So continuing on, same idea. I'm going to try the inner forward one now, which might require me to do a little bit of a disguised pass. So mid to late take, running along and playing into a forward over there. Last 2 or 3. So still thinking about aerial, ground and kind of low. Focusing on different contacts, so whip, driven, and a bit of a curl as well. So here we go. Working around the area there. I'm happy with the contact, happy with the return. Let's go one more. So happy that I've dropped it over the mannequin and into my target destination. So purposeful practice for a midfield player. I'm now going to go into a different video that shows you how we can recreate pass situations on the opposite side of the pitch.